Yo, what's going on, boys? So, how many of you guys have ever been frustrated and just upset about something that didn't go your way? I'm telling you, when I first joined college, my intention was to be an Air Force fighter pilot. Okay, I wanted to fly the F-16 and the F-35. That is it. Okay, I was in the Air Force Junior ROTC in high school, and then I joined the Air Force ROTC in college, but I didn't get a scholarship there. I didn't get a pilot slot there. And my expectation was I'm going to be a fighter pilot. I'm going to be this guy who gets to wear a flight suit and gets to go fast and be a leader and protect the country and be a hero. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be the highest I could be for my family. Somebody that'd be like, wow, this guy has made it. This guy set the standard really high. And that's what my goals were. But the Lord said, that is not going to be your path, okay? You're not going to go that route. And in fact, you're going to go a completely different route. And so when I was in college, I studied mechanical engineering, which is one of the hardest majors. I remember my dad came to me in high school and said, hey, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I told him, well, I like video games and working on cars. So mechanical engineering, right? It wasn't even until the last semester of engineering that I finally started to work out. Okay, I literally thought the gym and where the weight section was, because you had to like go back behind this one spot, was like not for me. I'm like, that's for football players, that's for people who are super attractive. I don't know what I'm doing in there. I'm going to make a fool out of myself. And, that's off limits. And that's literally the mentality I had going in there. Come to find out, a lot of men have that mentality about working out. They're like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to embarrass myself. It's okay. What I ended up doing was going in with headphones, with my hat, and just zoning in on what it is I needed to do. Don't worry about everybody else. They're all worried about their own selves anyway. And so when I had that mentality, I was able to just go in there and crush it. And so every single day, during that last semester, I was like going to the gym, or I was bulking up by eating like double burritos, something crazy like that. But my expectation in college was I was going to be a fighter pilot. Ended up getting out of ROTC the first month and having to decide, am I going to play soldier, or am I going to go and get an engineering degree, something that I can fall back on here? Okay. I think oftentimes people say, oh, well, you're going to have your goals and your dreams and you're just going to make it. Sure, but sometimes things just don't work out. And they don't work out for a reason. And it's okay. As long as you're bringing the Lord with you, it's going to be all right. So for example, I just told you that I was in the ROTC in high school, and I was also in it in college for a little bit. And then I tried again just recently, 2 years ago and last year, to be a pilot in the Air Force again, because I just couldn't shake the feeling. What did it do? I felt like I was drifting through just 5 years of working an engineering job where I was like, hey, I could go out and do something different. And so my head was opened up to like, oh, I can do other things now. There's more out there for me. And so what did I do? I went out and I studied the test. I got a perfect score on the Air Force academic test and the pilot section. And then I went and started to apply to units. I had 3 interviews and failed them all. Okay, I didn't get it. But here's what's important. During this moment is when I became really close with the Lord. Okay, He literally brought me back to Him, because I'd been kind of drifting and wandering off from Him, doing my own thing, right? And that wasn't what He had in mind for me. What He had in mind was for me to get closer to Him. The fact that I didn't even make the pilot slot wasn't even the point, right? The whole point was for us to have a closer relationship. And during that moment, that's exactly what we did, because I was too scared to go at this alone. If you're trying to do something and go and make your goals happen and you're not bringing the Lord with you, I'm telling you right now, that is scarier than jumping off a bridge with a parachute. What do you call that? Bungee jumping, something like that. It is the scariest thought, because if you start going down a path that you were never supposed to go down, what do you think? That could be pretty scary, okay, if that's not what God wants for your life. And so what did I do? During the last 2 years, I had been talking with Him. I had been reading passages, okay, and I'd really been analyzing, what is my motive of doing this? I wanted to be a leader. I wanted to be somebody that people looked up to. I wanted to be a leader of men. I wanted to be somebody who, was built, but not just in an egotistical way, but in an inspiring way. And so one of the scariest moments was when I didn't get it the first time. And I really thought Lord was like, this is for you. This is why I'm putting it on your heart. And I even went to a C-130, because that was one of the units I was applying to, and literally said, in crazy faith, I believe I'm going to be a C-130 pilot one day. And then that is when I was going to show this video. And I've never even shown that video because it never happened. But I was so certain. And he literally says, all you need to do is have faith of a mustard seed. But not just that. It has to be in his will for you. And so I would often pray to him, hey, if this is your will, let it be done. If not, do not let me have it, because that is way too scary to go after it on my own. And he didn't give it to me the first time. And I thought, okay, maybe let's give it another shot, because things happen, right? And the Lord doesn't want you to just give up the first time, right? If you don't succeed, try again. As long as it was placed on my heart to do this, I was going to go after it. Second time, we interviewed with a tanker unit. Okay, at the end of that, I felt like, please don't pick me. I didn't like the culture. It wasn't like on my heart to be like, yes, this is something I've always wanted to do. I didn't feel that way whatsoever. And so I'm so happy when they didn't call me that, I got an email rejection saying, oh yeah, because they interviewed 8 people and they took 4. And I probably could have gone back this last year and interviewed again, but I didn't feel it in my heart to go after that again. And I had prayed about it, I talked about it, and I wasn't, and this is the best part, I was not mad at God because he didn't give it to me. Because I'd already said, if this doesn't happen, it's okay. I'm just going to give it my all. Guys, I got a board back here, I don't know if you can see. Back there, it still has all the interview prep. I did 110% getting ready for this interview to make sure that I gave it my best, so then he could do the rest. And when I went into the interview and I gave it my best, and I had thought about all kinds of crazy stuff, like I had a picture of me when I was like 2 years old, flying this big C-130 with my dad, like toy or whatever, to make it more personal, and this is the reasons why I want to do it and all that, and they still didn't pick me after the 3rd time, I knew I was done. And guess what? I had told Laura, I said, if you want me to try again, continue to put that in my heart. And that literally faded. And then this was the biggest kicker. I knew that if I had gotten it, I wouldn't be able to make videos like this. I'd be way too busy, But right now I'm in a unique opportunity with work and everything to be able to film, to be able to share my story with you guys. Now, my frustration came from horrible expectations. I expected to be a pilot. I expected that when I was in high school. I expected it when I was interviewing the last 2 years. I got intentionally focused and disciplined. Every single morning I was out there doing push-ups because I wanted to be the best person on that PT test. Oh, well, the Air Force doesn't care about PT tests. I don't care that they don't care. I care because of myself and because I want to put myself at a higher standard. If you don't want to be the best, then you're already going to be lower than average. What do you think of that? It's just how I see the world. So what I ended up doing instead is I got my own flight suit. That's right. Okay. It says John Longoria, Flight Safety Ops, BSME, TMU, PPL. Okay, those are my credentials. That's my name, and that's what I do. This is a flight suit I'm going to wear when I go flying. I've always wanted to have this, and I made it happen. One of the biggest things that led me to do that was, okay, I'm going to have civilian wings. I don't have to have Air Force wings or Army or Navy or all this stuff. I'm going to do my own thing. And that has been a theme throughout my entire life, where it's like I didn't fit into just one category or one group of people. I wanted to create my own sense of community, to lead my own tribe, not just to have, it's like these cliques. Like even at church, I would find myself hesitating to go into like these church groups because it's like, I'm not here all the time. Like you guys are weird. Like you just felt kind of strange. And maybe I was the weird one. I don't know, probably. But I've never really just connected on a full level to just one group. And I've always been the kind of person to want to learn about a lot of different things, but to be involved in a lot of different things. call it the jack of all trades, you know, but it is what it is. Last thing I want to say on this video, guys, is my expectation has been shot down for my hair. Okay, we're gonna start making a video. I don't want to call it a series, but I want to kind of take you guys through this because I'm having all kinds of mood swing issues now. I'm having all kinds of like sleep and like acne going on, like hormonal imbalances. First of all, I need to get my levels tested, right? I need to get my blood drawn. The other thing is I'm on finasteride, which I've made many videos on. I've been on it for about 3 years now, and I think it's starting to finally take a toll. So I've been taking like one of these. So quick backstory, I've been taking like 1 milligram a day for a while, and that gave me massive side effects. If you don't know what the side effects are, look them up. But I was thinking about doing a quarter a day. Even that was too much because I'm also doing the topical right here. And I tell you what, the results have been great. You know, it really has. But the side effects are now starting to outweigh it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 2 weeks off, and we're going to be doing minoxidil, okay, in the corners every single day. And then we're going to slowly reintroduce just the topical. Okay, this one has 10% minoxidil as well as finasteride. A little bit of microneedling once or twice a week, and I'm going to forego this. Now, interesting thing about the pills is literally my doctor told me I could probably just get away by doing just the oral or the get my words right. Literally my doctor said that I could get away by doing just the topicals. I tried that last time and it seemed like I was still losing hair and losing ground. I'm about to give it another shot by doing a couple different things that are different. First of all, I need to get my testosterone higher because right now I don't feel as, you know, like that. Even from like last year in my old videos. Not that I need to be aggressive, but it's that oomph of like, let's go to the gym, let's make it happen, instead of just like I don't want to have type of energy. I want to max out. And so what I'm going to start doing is taking a few different supplements like tribulus and L-carnitine. Like there's all kinds of supplements we can go over later, but that's kind of what's going to boost my testosterone levels a little bit. Get off the finasteride for like a week or two. I'm thinking a week, maybe 2 weeks. We're already kind of halfway through the week, so I'm thinking a week and a half will be good, and we're going to see what happens. So use me as a guinea pig experiment. If you guys are going through any sort of symptoms through finasteride, follow this. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of it, but I tell you what, it does work. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. So, and you know, I started getting a bunch of pimples the other day. I'm like, what is really going on here? Because I don't really get pimples anymore. You know, I was on Accutane for so long, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, I guess you're gonna have hormonal acne again. And that's frustrating because I was on that for 10 months and I've been on it again. And it's just kind of like, okay, what are we doing here? So going to a dermatologist next week. Okay, got my appointment. So I'm gonna talk to him about all these things, but that's kind of my game plan moving forward. And we'll see what he has to say. Maybe we can just stick with the topicals and it'll be good. So hopefully that works for us. Guys, in a world full of fakeness and deception, keep dominating your realities. Keep pushing forward. I know that we can seem sometimes that life is drifting, that maybe we don't know exactly where we need to be. And that's how I feel and have felt before. Especially with this Air Force thing where I thought so much that God said, go this way. But in reality, he was saying, you need to go this way. And that's completely okay. And I was never mad at him for it. And I think a lot of times we get frustrated and mad at God because he's like, well, you gave me this expectation, but what happened? It's okay. That's why we have to trust him. And I'm not upset about it. You know, I've never have been. The closest people to me know that I was never mad at him. And I wanted him to be along for the ride. And so when it didn't happen, I was relieved. If it had happened, then I know it was from him too. But I just know he has something else in mind. And so stick with the Lord, stay close. Make sure that you're bringing him along with your plans. Don't just make your own plans. Please consult him first because he's going to be the best at getting you there. And then don't live in disobedience. Guys, I have that same feeling I had for the Air Force and flying, I have for making these videos. That conviction that I have to do this. If I don't do these videos, then I'm being disobedient to the Lord. Why is that? Because He literally has told me to do this. I can't shake the feeling, guys. I've tried to stop too many times. Like, I've been making videos for 10 years and I stopped the first time because I just didn't feel like it was like imposter syndrome, like it was me, or I hadn't made it yet. When in reality, I need to take you guys through everything I feel, including all this hair stuff. Like, why not? Instead of just waiting for the results, we're starting right now. And so if you've made it to the end of this video, guys, I really appreciate you. Stay tuned for more videos. Okay, we're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and daily shorts. Check out the Instagram, and we're over there on TikTok as well. I always thought TikTok was for little dances and weird stuff, but turns out it's a little bit more than that. But take care, boys, and I'll see you in the next video.